one rifle? Was it more than one? I've seen some pretty interesting video on the internet by experts that certainly calls into question what the FBI is telling us about a single shooter. No matter how insignificant your piece of information might be.
That is crazy election denier, conspiracy nut Senator Ron Johnson suggesting there was someone else behind the attempted assassination of Tiny Fingers. Really? Who? Okay, to be fair, if I was investigating it, I'd ask Melania why she's binge watching episodes of Dateline. You know. Trump is at it again, spreading more conspiracies to his Dukes of Hazzard base of hillbilly idiots.
Obama is playing Sleepy Joe Biden in a mask.
Now Tiny Fingers is suggesting the FBI tried to have him assassinated. I mean, really? He posted this on his True Social account, along with a long line of crazy shit about Kamala Harris. Crazy, crazy stuff. This conspiracy is not only dangerous, but predictable.
You got, where is Kamala? Where is Kamala? Talking about ISIS like KKK. We got this migrant caravan. You know what? We have thousands of people.
Dangerous in that it incites the same mopes who attacked the Capitol to fight again, this time against our very own government. But it also plays out in Trump's 2025 promise to dismantle the FBI and, this is true, replace generals in our military with NASCAR drivers. He's out of his mind.
He won 20 Indianapolis 500s. This guy wins all the time. I mean, we appreciate talent. I said, let me use these guys to guide our military a little bit. When you can win so many races, that's okay, you know? You guide.
Trump has battled with the feds for 40 years, long before his recent traitorous ways, back to the 1980s, when the Justice Department fined him for housing discrimination against black tenants. He would put C on the application for colored people, and these people would be denied. And yet this implication that the FBI was trying to kill him is yet another in the long line of conspiracies Republicans have propagated in order to hide the truth. And the truth is this: Trump is insane.
What the former president and his allies have said for now more than 2.5 years. And continue to insist to this very hour. The Georgia election was not stolen, and I had no right to overturn the election on January 6th.
The origins of this go back to 2016, when 17 U.S. intelligence agencies confirmed that Russia had attacked our election, from hacking the DNC to using social media to create lies and confusion among voters. And it turns out it wasn't hard to convince MAGA idiots of just about anything.
Would you rather have 4 years of Donald Trump as a dictator or 4 years of President Biden reelected? You know, you don't have to like the words that come out of the man's mouth, but sometimes in life we all need a good paddling from the principal.
When Trump was inaugurated, he asked Attorney General James Comey to kill the Russia investigation, and Comey said no. When Comey continued the investigation into Russia's actions, Trump fired him, like he did Attorney General Sally Yates when she informed Trump that General Mike Flynn was a paid security consultant to Turkey's dictator at the same time he was a U.S. National Security Director. That's kind of a conflict. You know, like putting Rudy in charge of the liquor cabinet.
That is crazy.
Flynn lied to the FBI and was convicted, then pardoned by Trump.
The Russia hoax.
Both of them claimed it was a conspiracy to get Flynn. By the way, during the 2020 election, Flynn lobbied for Trump to use the military to halt the election and seize the ballot boxes. How do I know this? Flynn admitted it.
Are these what you would call, your experts would call sophisticated operations, or this? I mean, I don't know. That's what I've been told by people who have some understanding of this area.
Yeah, I think it's. We've seen more sophisticated and less. I would say these are relatively, again, keyword, relatively crude devices themselves.
That's the current head of the FBI, the guy who was supposedly behind the conspiracy to assassinate Trump. Wow. So when Obama appointed him, was Barack in on it too? Oops, Chris Wray was appointed to the head of the FBI in 2017 by Tiny Fingers. That's right, the guy who Trump is suggesting tried to have him killed was appointed by Trump. Not exactly the guy you think would be behind it. Actually, Trump's experience in committing crimes and blaming it on others or mysterious groups in the shadows is long and rich. Let's look at Fat Donnie's storied history.
I know words. I have the best words.
I'm a very stable genius.
Trump has declared bankruptcy 6 times. It was always somebody else's fault. And he's been on the lookout for money. But institutions like Deutsche Bank stopped lending. So where did he go for money?
Russia, if you're listening.
Here's how Dodson remembers the conversation. I said to Eric, well, you're the head of his golf services development company. Who's funding all this? I remember very clearly what he said. He said, no, we don't need American banks. We have all the funding we need out of Russia.
The truth is, there's always been a scent of Putin around Trump. He not only begged Putin to let him build hotels in Moscow, but during the 2016 campaign, famously protected him in numerous interviews.
The indictment charges 12 Russian military officers by name for conspiring to interfere with the 2016 presidential election.
Anything in particular?
Yes, I do. I hold both countries responsible. I think that the United States has been foolish. I think we've all been foolish, and I think we're all to blame.
The crazy part is how delusional these conspiracies are. Remember when Trump suggested that Cruz's father took part in the Kennedy assassination?
All I did is point out the fact that on the cover of the National Enquirer, there was a picture of him. So here's the story. The press takes that and they say, Donald Trump and his conspiracy theories. He went out and said his father was with Lee Harvey Oswald and he assassinated the president. What did I do?
Or Trump's constant jabs at China during the pandemic.
Let's say China.
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 China. China. China. China. I have to have my China.
This particular conspiracy that China was behind the whole thing fit in perfectly with Lauren Boebert's and Dairy Queen's attacks against people like Fauci.
And making up guidelines like 6 feet distancing and masking of children. Do you think that's appropriate? Do the American people deserve to be abused like that, Mr. Fauci? Because you're not doctor, you're Mr. Fauci in my few minutes. No, I don't need your answer. I want to talk about this right here.
Mr. Chairman, objection.
Mr. Chairman,
objection.
I reclaim my time. I reclaim my time, Mr. Raskin.
Gentlelady will suspend.
Mr. Chairman,
Point of order.
Just in terms of the rules of decorum, are we allowed to deny that a doctor is a doctor just because we don't want him to be a doctor?
This all played into the pandemic conspiracy that somehow this virus was a Democrat. I mean, that's crazy, right? And Dairy Queen got on the bus early with their fascination with 9/11.
And the so-called plane that crashed into the Pentagon during Barack Obama's presidency. Okay, but let's keep going. Let's keep talking about whatever happened. Yes, I do believe he is a Muslim.
And the Q conspiracy. Who is Q?
It's an anonymous person. All right, so Q is a patriot. Is that what we're really going to see come out? Is it true? Is the type of corruption we're going to see come out, is it going to be satanic worship?
But Trump's suggestion that the FBI tried to assassinate him has a very dangerous edge to it. And regardless of what happens this fall, there will be people Trump can manipulate, like his pack of Christian warriors.
You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote.
And that ties in nicely with Trump's continuation of January 6th. And as Kamala Harris's numbers continue to rise, Trump has become more unraveled and desperate. And desperate people are dangerous. What's next? Remember when Trump said Obama had bugged his towers? Democrats stole the election? What will he say about Biden and Harris? We don't know why this 20-year-old took a shot at Trump. I mean, he was a MAGA enthusiast, most probably mentally ill.
I've seen some pretty interesting video on the internet.
When Fat Donnie one day finally kicks, my guess is the answer won't be on the grassy knoll, but in a bucket of fried chicken on the grassy knoll.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Damn right. Trust me.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Who's with me?
Oh, yeah, the lie.
Indictable.
Out of sheer morbid curiosity, I'm allowing this freak show to continue.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Damn right.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.